Hi, my name is Michelle Langston, and I'm a concierge wrangler at Automatic. Welcome to Week 5, Part 1. This week we'll be talking about themes and customization. In Part 1, we'll cover the following. What is a WordPress theme? What should you consider when choosing a theme? Where's the best place to find WordPress themes? And how do you install a WordPress theme? So what is a WordPress theme? Simply, a WordPress theme is a collection of PHP, CSS, and JavaScript, and media files that work together to create the visual look of your WordPress site. PHP files not only control the general structure, such as the header, footer, sidebar, specialized templates, but they also contain all the functions necessary to make the themes work. So a good analogy is like the bones and muscles of the theme. Cascading style sheets, or CSS, are your theme's paint job. Typography, colors, spacing, positioning, backgrounds, you name it, that's all controlled by the CSS. JavaScript, or JS, these type of files add dynamic functionality to your theme to make things move. JavaScript can also make your site feel app-like. Some themes come with bundled images and fonts. These images can be decorative in a variety of formats, such as SVG, and they can be used as part of the theme's design, or they can contain prepackaged background and header images. Some themes also use special web fonts that are bundled with the theme, or icon fonts. So now that you know a little bit about what a theme is, should you consider when looking for a WordPress theme? Now, if you've dabbled with WordPress for a while, you might have noticed that there's a lot of themes out there. Your theme is the very important part of your site. It's the exterior front that visitors will both see and interact with the most. It's not unlike the exterior of a business in the physical world. It's important that the exterior front of your site be not only aesthetically pleasing, but also secure and compliant with coding standards to ensure the best performance. So here are some basic guidelines for choosing a theme. So one, you'll want to select a theme that suits your content and purpose for your site. As Deborah mentioned in a previous lesson, it's really important that the theme you choose actually it matches up with what you're trying to do. That way, your theme will better adjust to the type of content you have available. You'll also want to select a theme that complies with WordPress theme development standards. These are coding standards that optimize the security and performance of a WordPress theme. Now, there will be a link at the very end of this lesson, which will have a link to these standards, and you'll be able to take a look at them if you're interested. At number 3, you'll want to select a theme that is released under the GPL version 2 or later license with no usage restrictions. This is the same license as WordPress. So that way your theme is compliant with the WordPress overall license. Finally, you'll also want to select a theme that was updated recently. As a rule, avoid themes that haven't had an update in over 1 year. Outdated themes may not be using the latest WordPress coding standards and could also pose a security risk. And finally, another important guideline is picking a theme that's optimized for mobile. A large number of your visitors will be accessing your site on their phones and tablets, so you want to make sure your theme adjusts to all screen sizes. So now that you know some of the criteria for choosing a theme, where can you find themes that meet all of these standards? One of the best places is the WordPress.org themes directory. Themes must pass a rigorous human review against the WordPress theme development standards in order to be listed here. They must also be fully compliant with the GPL version 2 or later, and also must be updated on a regular basis. The theme review team conducts theme reviews. This is an all-volunteer group and anyone, including you, is welcome to join. I will put a link to the theme review team and bonus slide at the end of this lesson if you're interested. There are thousands of themes listed at the WordPress.org theme directory, and these themes come in many different purposes. For example, you can find business themes, blogging themes, magazine themes, photography themes, and portfolio themes, any type of theme you can imagine. So now I'm ready to search for a new theme for our Save the Bees nonprofit site. So now that we have a better idea of what a WordPress theme is and how WordPress themes work, we're ready to move on to installing a WordPress theme. So I'm at the WordPress.org theme directory, and I can see all the themes listed here. As I mentioned in the lesson, this is one of the best places to find WordPress themes because they've all been human reviewed to make sure that they match the WordPress theme review and coding standards. And as you can see, these are all the featured themes at the front, and then you can also view the most popular themes. And you can view the newest and latest themes. And you can filter by feature also. So if you're looking for a theme that has a certain type of layout, or has a certain feature, and from the features listed, or a certain subject, you can check these boxes here, and it'll give you just a rundown, like a breakdown of the themes that meet these specific criteria. So I'm going to be looking for a new theme for the Save the Bees site. So right now, Save the Bees site is using 2016. It's a lovely and beautiful theme. However, I would rather my theme look a little bit more like a nonprofit website because as Deborah was talking about in the previous lesson, we want to make sure that themes match the content of your site that are suited to what type of content you have. And so let's look for a theme that is more geared towards nonprofits. So I'm just going to search for nonprofit and see what comes up. So quite a bit of themes come up. And you can see the information about a theme. Let's look at Ixion. It looks like a pretty theme. So I'm going to click on more info. And you can see when you click on more info, you get a lot of useful information. So let's walk through this information really quick. So first it'll give you the theme author. And then you have the option to preview the theme. And then you can look at and see the latest details. When I mentioned it's nice to be able to know when a theme has been updated. So this theme was last updated March 20th, which is fairly recent, quite recent. So I would steer clear of themes if they haven't been updated, in a long time. Like if it's been, not even updated in the past year, then I would proceed with caution because, like I say, if a theme is outdated, it may not be using all of the latest WordPress standards. But if themes listed in the themes directory are most likely to be updated. Then you can view if the theme has received ratings from other users. The star rating will show up here, and you can even click on the star rating and you can see reviews from other users. So you can get a sense of how other people have had, what kind of experiences they've had with the theme. And then you can do the support forum for the theme. And there's all kinds of other development related aspects that you can access. And then you get a breakdown of the theme statistics and downloads and the tags. So the tags will basically tell you a description of the theme. So it tells you like what kind of features the theme has. Like this theme has a custom background, custom colors, custom header, and things like that. So all the things. that it's here. So let's go ahead. Oh, and one other thing is the theme homepage. The theme homepage, if we click on that, it'll take us, usually most themes will come with a homepage by the theme author, and the theme author will give you some more information about the theme, including how to set up the theme and a closer demonstration of the theme and support. So it's always good to take a look at the theme author's homepage just to kind of see what they've set up and also to get more instructions for the theme. And as you can see, we can see a nice bigger screenshot here. And I see this theme looks really nice. It's got a nice big header image with a call to action button. And then it's got 3 featured areas on the front page. And then it's showing my recent posts. And even like a widget area in the sidebar. And then some widget areas in the footer. So this looks like the kind of theme I would like to have for my nonprofit. Oh, and we also have some nice social links and a top menu, and even a search bar at the top. So I think this would make a really nice color. A nice color also. Yellow kind of looks like bees, yellow and black. So this is a nice theme for the Save the Bees site. So let's go ahead and activate that on our site. So we're in the WordPress.org themes directory, and you can download a theme directly from this directory. However, there's a faster way to download and install a theme. And you can do that directly from your dashboard. So when you go to Appearance, Themes in your dashboard, so I'm on my dashboard right now for the Save the Bees site. And I'm going to, all I have to do is go to Add New. And as you see, this is basically the exact same content that's in the themes directory where we were before, where now it's in your dashboard. So you can browse themes from the comfort of your own dashboard. And you even get the same filters that you had before. And we have 2017 installed already, so it gives you a nice indicator that it's installed. So since I know the theme I'm looking for, I can just either type the theme name directly, or I can type in with the subject. So let's go ahead and type in the subject. And you can see Ixion shows right up. And you can even view a preview. And it's important to note that the preview may not look exactly like the screenshot, because the preview depends on what content you already have on your site. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Install, because after I previewed it, I just click on Install, and it's just installing it. So there, it's already installed. And I didn't have to actually download any files. It's that simple. Then I just click on Activate if I want to make it live. And now the theme has been activated. And you can see now it is saying that Ixion is the active theme. So let's take a look at our site. Let's refresh. And there we are. So I have activated a theme, and also downloaded and activated a theme right from the comfort of my own dashboard. But it doesn't look exactly like it did in the screenshot that we saw earlier. Like, I don't have the header image, I don't have the featured images below it, I don't have my call to action, and it looks like I don't have any social menus or the sidebar, or nothing in the footer. So how do I make the theme look like it did in the screenshot? And that's one of the things that we're going to discuss in part 2 of week 5. In part 2, we will discuss how to actually customize the theme so that it looks like what you see in the screenshot. And that's one of the common things that you'll notice when working with WordPress, is that you can't just activate a theme. A lot of themes require additional setup and customization. Because WordPress is so powerful, there's just so many things you can do with it, so we just have to make sure that we fix up the content and we fix up our site so that it works with the theme. So Stay tuned for part 2, and we will be diving deep into customization. Looking ahead to part 2, we'll dive deeper into the steps for customizing your site after you install a new theme. We'll be working with the Ixion theme, which I just installed, and we'll consider the front page, the menu, the widgets, featured images, call to action, buttons, and also the interior pages. Here's some important links to places that I mentioned earlier in this lesson if you would like to dive in deeper. So that's all for week 5, part 1, and I look forward to seeing you in part 2.